Hello. So it's time. As of the time of recording this, the draft hasn't. The draft analysis for the RDL hasn't even gone up yet. But we are going to be recording the team builder for week 1. Against a familiar opponent. We are against Ad, 2-1, and the Indian Charizards. We kind of know them from the UBL. I believe we played them week 6 of the first season of the UBL. And yeah, the only reason as well why I'm doing this today is, so I asked them when they wanted to play. Because I was like, oh yeah, you know, we can schedule something, you know, whenever they're ready. And they were like, yo, you want to do it today? And I was like, sure, I guess. So I'm doing the battle today, so I was like, I kind of have to make the team today. So that's why we're here. I at least had an idea of the Pokemon I wanted to use, and I did spend a little while, I probably good like hour and a half, like actually making the team like in the team builder, and even then, like the original 6 Pokemon I picked weren't even the 6 that I ended up going with, so I haven't done a ton of calcs either. This one's definitely kind of been a bit more of a I've kind of thrown it together. But honestly, his team looks so good, like, yeah, like, I'm just confident. The VGC 2020 as well, like, I feel very confident in, so, in this format, so, there were a few decisions that kind of, like, were a bit tricky, but yeah. As you can see that team on the screen here, is that Celesteela, the Zapdos, the Suicune, the Blacephalon, the Decidueye, the Espeon, my own mascot, which I'm kind of annoyed that they took from me. I was actually considering picking up Espeon. Considering. Maybe not actually going with, but considering. Hitmonchan, Glaceon, the G-Max Charizard, Haxorus, Gengar, Crocodile, and Gardevoir. So, one thing I kind of noticed is their speeds aren't actually that great. As in, they're not varied. You can kind of see down here, they've got, like, most of their Pokemon are in the 91 to 110 range. Like, the slowest Pokemon on their team is Celesteela at 61 speed. Nothing else is slower. So, realistically, a Trick Room mode could work here, but my Trick Room mode mainly involves Escavalier or Dramper, and Escavalier kind of gets bopped by G-Max Charizard, and Dramper kind of needs specific situations to work. And I don't think this is the week for it. So instead I'm just like, well, their highest base speed is 110, and my first thought after realizing that was, I swear Tornadus Incarnate hits 111 speed. So... So, max speed for... I just immediately thought, max speed Tornadus, get Tailwind up, make the rest of my team outspeed, and we can just win from there. They do have 2, like, really good bulky Tailwind options in Zapdos and Suicune, but we've got ways around that, so... Let's talk about my plan and my Pokemon. There's no real, like, set game plan. It's kind of, like... The thing with my draft overall is I can bring, like, just solid Pokemon that can work well together. Whereas there's no defining lead, especially for this kind of format, where it's, like, with 11 Pokemon, and especially, like, 11 Pokemon, and you've got, like, maybe 3 or 4 kind of top picks, and then you kind of have to pick from the rest. Like, there's already just a lot of good picks, you know, Gengar, Crocodile, Celesteela, Zapdos, Suicune, Blacephalon, G-Max Charizard, like, even Blacephalon, like, there's a lot of really strong picks. Or it's kind of hard you can't prepare for everything. And if you identify something that if you're not prepared for, like, if you're specifically preparing for, like certain things and then you don't get it right, and then something comes up and you just falter to it, then you're in trouble. So the idea with my draft is to make it so it's versatile, so it doesn't need to be geared towards anything in particular, but it can have calcs that are relevant in the matchup. So that's kind of what I've gone with. Granted, I don't have that many calcs this week, but yeah. Well, so let's start off with Assault vs Landorus. Like, so 3 Pokemon I think I immediately notified were the 3 that we kind of got here, the first 3 picks. So yeah, so let's start with Landorus. Landorus is definitely a Dynamax candidate this week. It is geared towards Dynamaxing. Originally I had U-turn over fly, but like the speed means that if I get a fly up, I outspeed their entire team. A bit of bulk thrown around and max attack. Really, the bulk's not really that relevant, but if you look at their team, a lot of the offense is special. Like Celesteela can be physical or special, kind of depends. Zapdos is special, Suicune special, Blacephalon special, Espeon special, Glaceon special, Charizard special, Gengar special, and God of War special. The only dedicated physical attackers are Crocodile, Haxorus, Hitmonchan, and Decidueye, and then I guess Celesteela can go either. But that's... And I've got Intimidate. So I've got double Intimidate this week, so I don't need to worry about the physical attackers as much. I can just really focus on my special defense. And because AV Landorus is kind of my prime physical attacker, I need to stick around a while. So that's why it's as bulky as it is, and it needs to be able to just use that offense, get the bulk up, and go to town. Next up, it's Tornadus. It's Sash because I really didn't know what else to give it. It could have been a lot of things, but Sash just kind of felt safe. Even with G-Max Wildfire going around, there's very little. There's like the worst thing that's gonna happen to break the Sash is Wildfire, and maybe I set up Sandstorm by myself. But other than that, not really anything else. Taunt Tailwind, really that's what it's here for. It's to set up Taunt, set up Tailwinds and deny other Tailwinds, and as well as other Bologna. As other like just random stuff that's happening. I've gone Air Slash over Fly or like Acrobatics because there's no guarantee that I break my. I don't want to be like pure physical and just running a weaker physical move. And the Defiant can come in handy, and I just Defiant U-turn. Like there's a reason to say Thunderous. Oh, sorry, Tornadus, just like in the back. So it's not the best Tornadus, but honestly, just having Taunt Tailwind is just good enough for it to come this week. The next one was Jolteon. I looked at their matchup. I looked at the matchup, and I was like, Jolteon goes to town this week. Jolteon actually goes to town. There's Celesteela, there's Suicune, Blacephalon, Decidueye, Espeon, Charizard, Gengar. Like, Jolteon goes to town this week as a Dynamax target. One of the 3 Dynamax targets this week. In fact, all my offensive mons this week are actually Dynamax targets, which is kind of cool. Maybe that means... Actually, no, I'm going to change this now. I don't want all my... I don't want all my Pokemon being Dynamax targets. I don't have anything that just would give me a... Oh, I have Icy Wind. Okay, that's Speed Madness then. We do have Icy Wind on Crest. So cool. I don't want all my attackers to be Dynamax targets. So Jolteon, we can go Modest because their highest speed is with Gengar. Gengar and Espeon tied at base 110. That hits 178 max. Or 179 or something like that, I believe. I think. Yeah, it hits 17... No. Yeah, it hits 178 max. I think. I can't go back because that will spoil teams for future videos, so. But yeah. So I believe it hits... I'm gonna just change this back to here, just in case. I can't put that... I could put the point elsewhere, but whatever. We're just being safe. I will change that if it... After this, if it actually only hits 178, but it might hit 179. I'm not sure. Anyway, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball is all we need. Jolteon is one of the 2 Pokemon I have Calcs for. A Max Lightning versus with Thunderbolt against a Celesteela has a 93.8% chance against the bulkiest Celesteela there is to OHKO. And Lightning is also like really good against Suicune, so yeah. Basically just saying, I don't need Thunder, I can get away with Thunderbolt. It also means it doesn't need a Dynamax. Yawn is for potential scary Dynamax threats that I'm not quite prepared for. Again, it covers options that I might not be prepared for, and the Protector's just solid overall. So, G-Max Lapras, this is offensive Lapras. It's got a bit of bulk here. The speed is also to make it so after a +1, it outspeeds their whole team. Oh, so not after a +1. After a Tailwind, it outspeeds the whole team. We got Freeze Dry, Hydro Pump, Blizzard, Life Dew. Life Dew means I'd get a protecting move, and as a Maxmon. If a Pokemon's going to come to a game at Max, it's going to be Lapras. Lapras only comes if it's going to Max and if it's good in the matchup. I prefer Life Dew over Protect, personally, especially with a bulky team like this. This team's quite bulky overall with Landorus, and you see I've got Incineroar and Crest, so like having the Life Dew is really nice here. Blizzard, as you can kind of see with the calcs, was needed for the Dynamax Zapdos matchup. So a +2 Blizzard Max Hailstorm, or I guess Resonance, it doesn't matter which one, because they're the same power, will KO a max HP 4-speed F Dynamax Lapras. Oh, sorry, Dynamax Zapdos. Do I expect Zapdos to max realistically? Not really, but it's also just kind of nice. It also means that Freeze Dry is a 2-shot outside of Dynamax, with no weakness policy boost. And despite it being a Suicune, I'm just gonna go Shell Armor to avoid crits. So yeah, that's Lapras. Then we've got Incineroar. Good to have you back, buddy. This is a weird calc for the offense, but hear me out. The only other calc that I did, because I didn't know if I want to make this offense, like, I wanted to make sure I had some offense on it, but also wanted to make it bulky. So, a +1 Incineroar will OHKO any Celesteela. So, that's why this is here. Just because I can see Lando Incin being a thing that's, like, in, and then get a max, a max Knuckle off next to Incin, and then go for a Flare Blitz into Celesteela, and that just takes it out. So, the rest is thrown in bulk, and then it's got a little bit, it's got the speed, same kind of thing, as Lapras to make sure it outspeeds. I think that's why I needed the 90, because I wanted to make sure I doubled into 180, so I outspeed 178. So I'll double check that. Darkest Lariat, Parting Shot, Fake Out. Lariat kills everything that you would think it would kill. It would kill. It kills Espeon, kills Decidueye, kills Blacephalon, kills Gengar. Flare Blitz will kill Guardy. It's gonna kill Glaceon. Like if you think it's a super effective hit, it's probably gonna kill it. Unless it's like really heavily defensive invested. And then anything else, it's probably gonna like just 2-hit KO. Honestly, it's gonna do really good chip. It's a fairly offensive Incineroar, but like it's also just gonna do a lot of work. And the only reason why it's not AV is because I wanted Lando to have the AV, so it could actually be it really needs to stay around a while and do good damage. And even if it doesn't max Earthquake with both Lando and Torn and Cress, means it can actually go for Earthquakes reliably. So, and there's a couple Pokemon on the team with Protect, like Jolteon. But yeah, Parting Shots are really nice. It makes this team even bulkier than it already is. It's such a bulky offense team with like one fast mode in Jolteon, and that's like it. And then we got Cress. Originally, I was actually going to go Tapu Bulu, because I was like, Tapu Bulu can be really strong here. And then I looked at it again, and I was like, is it? It kind of doesn't get to Grassy Glide a lot of things here, and that's kind of the main appeal of it. So I kind of swapped it out for a Cress. Despite me not really running Trick Room, Cress kind of just eats hits. Icy Wind's a nice form of speed control. Helping Hand is really just going to up the ante on some of these moves. I guess I could do, like, Helping Hand on the Incineroar to get the KO on the Celesteela, and things like that. Ally Switch over Protect, just because I'm being cruel and also making people play around Ally Switch is awkward. And then Psyshock over Psychic just for, I think it was mainly for Gengar, but it's also good for things like Decidueye and Hitmonchan, so, and there's no real calcs here. It's just kind of like just a fairly defensive one. I think I just made sure that like Crunch. I'd like double checked if a -1 Crunch would like even 2-hit KO me, and it doesn't. with no defense investment. So, like, this from Crocodile, so I was like, yeah, this is probably fine. It's very similar to kind of the standard crest set. The only reason why that speed is there to speed creep and no investment speed Suicune. And that's really it. This isn't the best prep, honestly, but this team's so just versatile and offensive, and I don't, like, you can't I'm not calcing for 13 Pokemon. I could definitely sit down and say, okay, what do I really expect, and things like that. But I also want to go to bed. I've been, like, I want to get some sleep, before this match. And ideally, I'd like a few hours, so, because, like, I still haven't gone to bed yet, and I've finished work 3 hours ago, and I'm very tired. So that means I'm going to be very tired for the match, but hopefully I can at least finish the match. Hopefully we can come out with a dub, and then I'm going to get a couple extra hours sleep before I go back to work tonight. So, listen, I need my sleep, okay? But do I expect this team to win? Honestly, I feel pretty confident in it. Just the team in general. Like, if I turned up to VGC 2020 with, like, Pros Crown Tundra with this team, people I don't think would question much, honestly. Like, this team's so good. The only weird pick is honestly the Jolteon, and Jolteon's got, like, some really nice just utility with Yawn, and, like, the thing is, the team is versatile, and that's what I like about it. The team can go into a match without specifically having to tech for anything. It can just go in as a good, solid team, and just work as a good, solid team, and that's what I like about it. It doesn't need to rely on gimmicks or specific strategies. It just goes in with a solid game plan, and that's what it does. And that's why I like this draft. It's made just this team... It can go with any good, solid team that works, and that's why it works. Because you can't pin this team down to anything. And that's why I like it. You can't just you can look at certain... You can say, oh yeah, Jolteon's going to be offensive, Crest is going to be bulky, Instin's going to be kind of bulky. But what's Landorus? What's Tornadus, really? What's Lapras? Is it offensive Lapras? Is it a bulky light screen Lapras? What is it? Is Tornadus going to be Prankster, or is it going to be Defiant? And if so, is it going to be a max target? What is Landorus? What on earth is Landorus? So, and even Instin's, like, kind of weird. Like, this is not a incredibly bulky Instant. This is more of an offensive Instant, like, more than anything. So, like, that's why I like this draft. It's so versatile in what it can do, and it's really hard to pin down. So, there's also, I think, one other thing I'd like to mention. I think that is, both the Tornadus and the Instant, their HPs are, Sandstorm numbers, slash Hail. Like, they are weather numbers. Where I don't think that's going to matter much, it's going to matter more on Incineroar than on Tornadus, but yeah. For those who don't know, Sandstorm slash Hail numbers, to take the optimal amount of damage, you need a multiple of 16 as your health, minus 1. So the easy example is look at Tornadus. 160 is a multiple of 16, so minus 1 is 159, so it takes 1 less point of sand damage. Instin's the same deal. Actually, might have got my math wrong. Hang on, 176 and then 192, so I actually need to drop down to 191 for a Sandstorm number. There we go. So now it's a Sandstorm number, I believe. Right? Because 32 plus... 160 plus 32, yeah, it's 192. So yeah, this is a Sandstorm number now. I don't think I could get to, what would it be, 217? I don't think Instant hits 217 HP. No, it does not, okay. So yeah, that's the best Sandstorm number I can get. Which, again, I don't know if Sandstorm numbers are going to matter, because the only way I think really either of us are setting it up is via, like, a max Rockfall. Or maybe Glaceon or Suicune are going to max Hailstorm, and that's, like, it. Those are the only real ways that we're going to see It's going to be out of max moves. We're not going to see weather otherwise. So, yeah. Anyway. I will see you guys in the battle. And we are back. So, we've got a match. I actually don't feel that tired right now. I'm probably going to feel very tired later. The issue is, I actually really couldn't sleep today, so I ended up waking up an hour before the battle, because like I was sleeping so weirdly. I was like, there's no point in me waking. There's no point in me going back to sleep for half an hour, so I just kind of woke up early. And then I might go to bed after this, I'm not sure. But yeah, so we should be battling soon. Just after stuff already. Because it should be time. Do I feel confident? I feel reasonably confident. Normally I don't feel too confident in these matches, but like I feel like this team's just so solid. We've got the damage calc up as well. We've used the non-VGC's damage calc just because it shows only in imported sets, whereas the other one doesn't. The lazy... It's like, I'd have to go type out, like, say, Landorus and actually pick up my custom set. And also, like, it wasn't working. It was showing, like, 212 special defense, even though I put in the imported set. It was, like, kind of bugging out. So, if I just change to a Pokemon, say, like, Charizard, just change it to level 50. And just do that, and it's not that bad, so yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. So Ad says they're ready. Challenge them to Noctex DLC to VGC. Cool. Let's do this. Like I say, there's not really a lot where I can just be like, yeah, I know what to expect. Like, I can expect some things, like Celesteela. Like, Celesteela's Zapdos Suicune, I feel like it's pretty likely. I think me and Ad actually had some connection issues last time, now that I think about it. Let me join you back into the lobby. There we go. Okay. Oh, they brought Espeon against me. What a douche. So, it is best 2 out of 3. So it's not too bad. They did bring G-Max Zard. The Krook. What do they want to lead here? I kind of want to just lead Lando Torn. It just seems so solid. Because if I lead Jolteon could be good in the back. I think just Lando Torn is good here. I could have Lapras in the back here. I like Lapras Instant in the back. Actually. If I have Lapras Instant in the back. Instant will beat Celesteela. It'll reduce the damage output of Krook. Beat Espeon. Torn is going to set up the Tailwind for us. Lapras will beat a lot of this. Yeah, I'm going to go with those 4. This might be a mistake, but we'll see. We've got Lando Torn, and it's going to be Celesteela Suicune. Now, I'm really tempted to taunt the Suicune first. Just so it can't Tailwind itself. And match my speed. Do I want to max immediately? No, because I've got Lapras, I need to max Lapras. So I think I'm going to just hit into the Celesteela. And taunt the Suicune. Okay. We see a Skull come out. Crit. The burn... we don't want to see the burn. That's all we don't want to see. And I'm going to set up a Tailwind. The Tailwind's... well, it's going to be useful for when the Lapras comes in. That's the main thing. So we get our Tailwind up. Go into Lapras. Okay, so it's a defensive Celesteela, which unfortunately does break my stash here, but it's not the end of the world. Maxing immediately is going to be nice here. Like, getting up this Resonance is going to be really good. The Celesteela could protect. I kind of want to Freeze Dry this Suicune. Because it can't protect right now. No, let's go for a Resonance on Celesteela and U-turn into the Suicune. Ooh, nice U-turn from me. So this might be a protect from the Celesteela, yeah. But, like, I want to get this Resonance off. Lando or Incin? Incin gives us Fake Out pressure. I'll go Incin. So +1 will take it out. I'm not really afraid of the Espeon right now. I think we're gonna go for the Geyser, see how much we can get done, and just fake out the Espeon. They're really making, like, my max turns not do much. Which is really bad. It's my last turn of Tailwind as well, which is really bad. That also went before my Lapras, which is worrying. That makes me think it's Scarfed for some reason. That's a really specially bulky Suicune as well. I'm running out of resources and fast. I didn't bring enough for the Suicune. That was really my mistake. Though when I unmax, I'm gonna have Freeze Dry and it's not gonna be as bad. I'm just gonna try and take out this Espeon, I think. No, because Suicune's gonna bot me. So I'm gonna Parting Shot to Suicune. Ooh, it's Max Suicune. Well, I'm glad I get a Parting Shot on it. That reduces its damage output greatly. We're just gonna go into Taunt. So I can actually get up Tailwind again. What's the play here? Do I want to go for Celesteela? Celesteela might just protect. That's all on Max Geyser did. I might just like for doing Tailwind again. Leech Seed avoids Lapras, which is quite nice. I may go for it again. But to be fair, I haven't seen anything from this Celesteela that lets me... Like, I want to taunt the Celesteela, actually. I just want to taunt the Celesteela, because right now it's... Oh, it switches. Chase with a Defiant Boost. Taunt the Celesteela, Freeze Dry the Krook. We see Flamethrower come out, that's not doing much damage here. Roar Veil does go down, but we've still got 2 turns of Tailwind here. I'm gonna Hydro... Yeah, I'm gonna Hydro the Celesteela, and I'm gonna U-turn the Krook. Like, I'll be faster than Scarf Krook. Bringing an Incin to get Fake Out pressure is gonna be really nice here. So your Hydro Pump come out, some decent damage. Heavy Slam's not doing anything. So it's Leech Seed Protect, Flamethrower, Heavy Slam. Insane takes that out now. We know this can't protect, so we're gonna freeze dry and fake out. This is last turn of Tailwind. I've got a bit of speed investment, so I should outspeed the Celesteela, so I don't think I'm... Actually, I don't know why I faked that out. There was no reason for me to fake that out, because, like, Instant's gonna just take a ton of damage here. Like, I wasn't afraid as a Celesteela. I just knew it couldn't protect, so, like, yeah. That was really dumb. There's no reason for me to do that. Lapras is really the only thing I have healthy. I'm gonna go for a freeze round of Suicune and just straight switch to Lando. Lando's living, and it gets burned. It's got crit and burn. We haven't seen a protect move come out from the Suicune yet. If it's just Celesteela, we're fine. Ooh, we can actually Espeon. The Suicune's faster, though. It's a fast Suicune. Although I'm not running much speed on my Lando, right? Even still, that's, like, decently fast. So we get to bring in this. We can set up Tailwind here. Or we can taunt the Celesteela. I think taunting the Celesteela and just taking out the Espeon is fine. Because Celesteela, as long as it's got no recovery... Well, it's got lefties. But, like, lefties isn't real recovery. It's going to protect, Expanding Force onto Tornadus. We'll take out the Espeon. And then we've got Incin, which is going to do enough damage to the Celesteela. We may as well fake out Freeze Dry. There's no reason for us not to. And then we'll Freeze Dry Flare Blitz. Cool. So that's game one. That was a long drawn out game one. Mainly because I didn't have a way through that Suicune. Geez, Lando didn't really do that much there. Lando was mainly good for Zard and Zapdos, and they didn't bring either. I didn't bring either of those. So do I go with the same 4 or not? How good was Lapras there? Lapras actually, like, really hard carried that game. If I bring Jolteon, I'm likely gonna max it. And I think maxing Lapras is better. I think I can win with the same 4. I think I just gotta play it a little bit better. How good was Incin? Incin was alright. I think Jolteon could be really good, but the thing is, Landorus was basically good against the 2 Pokemon that they didn't bring, and it was good against Krook as well. Maybe I mix up my leads and lead Lapras this time? We know it's only Heavy Slam. I'm down to lead different. And leave my double Intimidate in the back. This time we're going to lead Lapras Torn. We see Celesteela Zapdos this time. Ooh, that's really bad for me. Lapras, you've got a GTFO. And we probably... I think we can taunt the Celesteela first. See a switch to Suicune immediately. Wow. That was kind of impressive, actually. That was like a perfect turn from them. So I know they've got Dose in the back, which obviously makes Lapras worse. And I know that Suicune's faster. I can get Switch Initiative. I probably want a Tailwind here. Just to make sure I get out quicker. Yeah. We see a switch to Krook. Cheers for the Defiant boost. I'm gonna get a Tailwind off, U-turn into Suicune, and go into Lapras. We see a Blizzard come out. That's gonna chunk Torn. The freeze! Why? Why would you do this to me, game? The thing is, I know all four, and not much really wants to take a Resonance. So, I'm just gonna go for a Resonance into Krook. And I'll try and U-turn out. So, Dose is gonna come in. This is gonna do a chunk. It lives on Sash. I think that falls me. Yeah, cheers for the fall. I can U-turn the Dose here. I probably want to U-turn the Dose. I actually don't know if I want to give them Rain. Don't want to give them Rain with, like, instant Lando in the back? Probably not. I'm just gonna Resonance to Suicune and, I guess Air Slash. I'm gonna Resonance to Zapdos and I'm gonna Air Slash to Zapdos. I don't think it's gonna protect. Okay, it's Max Zapdos. Bop it for the 1 health. And then Resonance. I did that literally just in case. Oh, burn me. Okay. So Krook comes in. We've still got our last turn of Tailwind. Cheers for the second Defiant boost. And this means I can really chunk this, Suicune. Okay, never mind. Go into Instant. Resonance to Krook. And now it's just Celesteela Suicune. I'm gonna double the Suicune. The Suicune should go down to the next Freeze Dry. We're not faster than the Suicune, but I think that's fine. We're just gonna double hit. I expect the Celesteela is gonna protect anyway, but like, Instant's gonna take this hit just fine. So Veil goes. Veil's been so good for me. And this double up probably takes it out. Yeah, the crit didn't matter there, because this was doing 71% min on the bulkiest of Celesteela. So GG's to add. We get our first win. I don't know if this was the best team to bring. Jolteon definitely could have been better, but I was definitely afraid of Dose. I was definitely afraid of Dose. But the Dose was Sash, so it seems like it was more of a Tailwind Suicide lead. It was definitely a bulky, like, defensive Celesteela. The Suicune was actually kind of a threat, but that was mainly because I didn't bring Jolteon to a game. If Jolteon came to a game, Suicune wasn't nearly as much of a problem, but then, like, if I dropped if I dropped Insyn, maybe it could have been okay, but Insyn was, like, a reasonably good defensive piece. Like, even against Suicune, it could take hits. Dropping Lando would have made me really, like, it would have made me pretty Charizard weak, but I had Lapras. I could have probably dropped Lando for Jolteon there. So, but yeah, GG's to add. Like, I just couldn't be killed. My Pokemon were just like, with Aurora Veil and their natural bug, like, nothing was dying, so it was just, it took so much to try and kill everything I had. Especially because I brought the bulkier Pokemon too, so. But yeah, GG's. And yeah, so that's going to be our week 1 win in the RDL, so yeah. Let's hope we can keep up this win streak, shall we? So, see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.